Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jill B. CHT and I am your hypnosis. I'm a certified hypnotherapist and intuitive, and I like to come on here every once in a while and reflect and talk about the work that I do and why I do it, in hopes that you find a message that resonates with you so that we feel connected in this journey of healing. And my love and my passion is this idea of womb healing and what that means for us as women as we connect with our sense of power. We are creative energy, and we are really what this is my devotion to reprogramming the collective consciousness around what it means to be an empowered woman, to have the sense of empowerment, to feel at home in ourselves. My practice is called Becoming Home because that's where our sense of belonging has to begin. And that's what I've discovered on my own journey. And today I'm reflecting on 2025. I don't know about you, but over the past couple weeks, I have definitely been doing my best to slow down. It is historically very hard for me to slow down. It's not that I rush, I just get excited, I get excited about doing things. I do it, and then while I'm doing it, I like to second guess myself, or I don't take care of myself, I overthink. And this practice, the reason I became a hypnotherapist is because I needed one. And so I am devoting myself every day to help myself and you become conscious of these patterns and mindsets that impact how we perceive the world around us and how we feel like we have to move through it, whether that's consciously or not. And allowing myself to slow down in this season, winter of 2025 into winter of 2026, to release, to come to terms and make peace with some things that I learned over the past year. 2025 was a year of wonderful things and blessings and joy and abundance, and it was a year of karmic cycles becoming obvious. You know what I mean? Like things returning from the past, and almost like it felt like this opportunity to really make a final judgment call about certain people, places, things, behaviors, and patterns that I've participated in over a lifetime, maybe. And so I admittedly, have spent the past couple of weeks slowly integrating this and creating space for myself and for others to connect with ourselves intentionally, to slow down, to feel nourished, to feel and to release these things that, maybe we've outgrown or we just don't want to bring into 26. Energetically speaking, 25 is a 9-year, so that would make sense, right? We have a lot of energies and we have a lot of lessons that are being learned and completed. We're given the opportunity to learn those lessons and to complete those cycles and to release, especially it being an astrological year of the snake, right? And I love that. I feel like the snake is like the ultimate healer in a lot of ways. Snake energy is, snakes regrow and shed their skin, these senses of self and identity. They're not necessarily attached to this idea of this static ego. We're allowed to transform. We're allowed to outgrow the skin that we've been in and to release it. And I think that's really powerful. I feel like I've had to really acknowledge my power in that sense as well this year. And I'm grateful for all the opportunities, no matter how wonderful and challenging that they've been. And as we move into 2026, which is a 10-year or completion and new beginnings, the year of the horse, giving ourselves to really, if we allow ourselves to really release these things that we have been outgrowing, even if it's ideas and mindsets and definitions of ourselves, we allow ourselves to move forward with this reckless abandon, wild, free, passionate, driven, powerful energy. And I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for it. You know what I mean? I'm ready to feel new and free and fresh and energized, ready to tackle whatever comes next. And so I've been reflecting on the year, and this is my list of things that I am releasing and letting go of and leaving in 25 as we move into this new energetic year. And of course, I pulled cards around it as well. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Coins. I'm not leaving behind, right? I've sat with these cards already, and I'm not leaving behind this idea of self-sufficiency, but what I am leaving in 25 is this idea that self-sufficiency is survival, to survive on self-sufficiency. You know, I feel I often have to do things myself, and I recognize where that comes from for me. That's definitely like a learned behavior that I have to kind of do everything myself, and it's not really helpful. It's not really a helpful mindset, you know, but I'm definitely ready to let that go. The energetic need to do it, the emotional need to do that to keep myself safe. It's a false sense of security, this sense of over-responsibility and carrying everything myself and being the stable one when I'm quietly depleted. It is this martyr energy. I think a lot of women feel this way. I think a lot of us experience this, but this idea of equating worth with how much I can hold alone, that stays in 2025. We leave that behind. But I'm grateful for the lesson that I learned with that. You know, it's a double-edged sword. I've come to realize how much I am capable of doing and accomplishing on my own, but also it's so much better when I share that load with others who are on the same page, on the same frequency as me. That actually brings so much more joy than doing it all myself. So I think that is a big lesson that I've learned this year, and I'm learning to release this. I also feel like I'm releasing this need to slow down to feel safe. Knight of Coins here. There's a version of me that wants to wait till everything is perfect in order to accomplish something or to even start. And this over-preparer needing all of the plans and the time frames, and I delay action in the name of responsibility and being productive and having a plan, and really what that does, it slows me down from actually doing the things that I want to do. And you know, it's this like you gotta just kind of, I've learned that it's better when you just start and do it even if you don't feel 100% ready, because what you're really doing is you're never really going to be fully ready. Like, what does that mean? Like, sometimes I catch myself like planning every word that I'm going to say, and then it doesn't come off authentic, so it's really not getting my message across anyway. And so this idea of hesitating and waiting for things to be perfect before acting, 2025 can have it, you know what I mean? Also, leaving behind isolation. There's a purpose, and there's a season for going within and doing that soul searching to find what really resonates. And I think that cycle has come to a close for me. At least a cycle of isolation has come to an end for me. Being in my thoughts too much really doesn't do me any good anyway, because this is where it's brought me, right? Slowing me down. And, you know, I've done deep inner work. I do deep inner work. I'm not afraid of doing the deep inner work, but also I'm realizing that I don't have to do it alone. And I know that I don't have to do it alone, because my whole career is giving people a space and a mirror to their deep inner work. And yeah, I'm ready to receive that as well. You know, processing quietly and healing privately serves a purpose. And that time has come to an end for me. And I'm ready to speak to what I've experienced, and I'm ready to share that so that maybe someone out there can see themselves in this experience and know that they're not alone. I think that's kind of the shadow of isolating. It can feel really important to gain clarity, but what it does is it keeps us stuck. We have to reintegrate, you know, into the collective, into community with people. We have to learn to open again after a time of healing, and it's time to open, right? Disappearing is not the solution in 2026. Visibility and authentic expression is really what is going to bring forward momentum now. But maybe you know what that feels like, right? Like when you've isolated for a while, now it's time to reintegrate, it's time to come back. And it's like you come out from a cave, right? And you're seeing the sun for the first time, and it's like kind of scary, you know, vulnerable, definitely vulnerable, right? To put yourself out there, especially as you're feeling new and you're feeling vulnerable in yourself anyway. So to be visible around other people and to be perceived as new, it's pretty brave, I think. But I'm ready to receive, you know what I mean? Something I'm leaving in 2025 is I'm done playing small, this beginner energy. I think I kept that identity, and to be fair, I was doing a lot of things for the first time. A lot of things did feel new, but it almost became like an excuse. I'm outgrowing this, you know what I mean? I'm outgrowing this beginner mindset. I'm outgrowing this playing small energy and figuring it out. Like, I'm always going to be figuring it out. We collectively are always going to be figuring it out. None of us know what we're doing, but actually we do. We've all started in a beginner mindset, and now it's time to expand. And so what this has looked like in the shadow aspects of this like beginner energy, and like claiming that and like identifying as that, has actually kept me underestimating my own experience and my own ability to grow toward my goals and create success. And I think it's created a lot of doubt in my mind. I mean, yeah, a lot of things I didn't really know what I was doing. I was figuring it out as I went, but also like, I already know what I'm doing. I know my stuff. I know, I trust me, right? I trust that I can handle this. And even in the moments where I felt like I couldn't, or I didn't trust myself, I had to learn through that. So this need for permission to start or to keep going or to do certain things, yeah, that stays. It stays in 25. What am I leaving behind in 2025? Indecision. We're leaving it behind, girl. We're leaving it behind. Split energy and indecision. I definitely dabbled. You know, I felt like I dabbled. I felt like I explored in 2025. I had a lot of ideas at one time, and I followed the hunches. I felt into things, I tried them out. And what I realized is some of these things that I did, I split my energy, especially into things that weren't in alignment with my ultimate goal, my goals of growing my practice and building authentic community and serving my community. And I forgive myself for the times where I stayed in situations too long, but that stays in 2025. 1 foot in, 1 foot out energy, this like second guessing, aligned choices, because that was fear that I was doing the wrong thing, but also like fear like I was doing the right thing, and also fear that I couldn't maintain the good thing. You know what I mean? That's gotta go. That indecision has to go. Outsourcing my intuition, not listening to my intuition. I am an intuitive. We honestly, everyone is. Everyone has an intuition, and I build a life on connecting people with theirs, as well as using mine to help and serve others. So all the moments in the past year ever where I felt like I couldn't trust it, or I had to I was second guessing it to feel validated, that stays in 2025. That stays. They can have it. I release that because I know what a wholehearted, full body yes feels like. I do. And you do too. You know what that feels like? For me, I feel it in my womb space. I feel it in my sacral. It's like this gut feeling of I know what a yes is. And we're leaning into that in 2026. We're leaning in to the empowered yes, and we're going for it. 2025 for me was also a year of really confronting my emotional experience, especially in relationships, and kind of being forced to look at these situations where, you know, I wasn't met completely. And I think that is an interesting experience to look back at now, because I realize what I do in response to, you know, not really being met or not having reciprocity is then overgiving. Can you relate to that? Maybe you can relate. I don't know. But yeah, this like emotional, almost naivete, this beginner mindset, I don't know, this like hoping instead of choosing or putting my power into other people, giving like their choice mattered, how things would determine how things would move forward, when that was me giving my control and my power away. You know, waiting for signs, romanticizing potential over reality. Yeah, I'm leaving that to 2025, because in 2026, what that showed me moving forward is how to trust how I feel, and then use discernment based off of how I feel intuitively, emotionally, and like owning my needs, communicating that, and not playing small again, and hoping and waiting for someone to make a decision that may or may not benefit me in the long run. Like, nope, we're not doing that anymore. Thank you so much. And with that is this emotional overgiving in moments when there is a shared experience, right? Like pouring love into people and places and things without boundaries and clear communication and structure, you know, leading from the heart without boundaries. My heart, your heart, our heart is so precious. This is something I've had to realize, like my heart is so precious, And I have such a capacity to love and to give, and I have such a desire to, that it's not necessarily for everyone to hold and to nurture and care for. And unfortunately, well, fortunately, it is what it is. I've learned in quite a few instances this past year of not everyone has my best interests at heart. Not everyone has the capacity to hold my heart or consider how I feel, right? These relationships that definitely require boundaries to know how to navigate, so I can also know how to invest my love and care while honoring myself and my boundaries and my needs and that of another. You know, I've had to process a lot of grief this year, a lot of challenge, but I take responsibility in my role in that, because I own my love and I show up fully in it, unapologetically, and also learned from these experiences how to honor and hold boundaries so that people know exactly I need to be supported as well. You know, that love remains, but it flows through structure and containers that are safe and serves everyone involved. That's something I'm leaning into moving forward. 2025 can have it. 2025 can have proving myself. I don't have anything to prove. I have nothing to prove to anybody. And that is something that I've reflected on quite a bit. It's funny, I was moving this past weekend and I was looking through all these old journals, and even over time, over years, I'm learning these lessons over and over again, or just becoming more conscious of the layers of it, and, you know, experiencing these patterns through different time frames and relationships and opportunities and situations. And this is one that comes up all the time for me, it seems, is this over collaborating to feel valid, seeking external confirmation, and shaping myself to fit into other people's visions. No, I have nothing to prove. And what I've learned from that is that I have something unique to offer, and I really love what I do. And the right collaborations, like anything, would want to collaborate and work with me because they see that value and it resonates with them. There's an alignment. I don't have to fit something else to feel like I'm good at whatever I do, right? That's not it. We're letting that go. We're letting it go. Trusting my own blueprint. I trust my own blueprint. And sometimes it doesn't feel clear, but this over committing, this over pouring, over investing, over collaborating in order to feel busy, to feel successful, to feel like I'm growing, to feel like I'm making connections and business, that stays. And 2025 can have it, you know what I mean? 2025 was a year of challenging relationships, and challenging in the sense that, well, it challenged everything that I was participating in, playing small over giving, right? These behaviors that really just keep me feeling like I need to prove myself and my worth. And I released that to 2025, the partnerships that felt good in the moment but didn't expand me, or these dynamics that prioritize harmony over truth, right? And those are patterns that I notice over the past year. In order to keep the peace, I had to play small, or I had to show up in a certain way. I spent a lot of time and scattered my energy quite a bit over the past year investing in so much into those relationships, and it's nothing against these people. They came into my life to be that mirror, and there's always chance for growth, but it has to be resonant, right? Reciprocal growth is a non-negotiable at this point. And so that's how we lead. That's how I have to move forward. Really, I think so much, a lot of what 2025 taught me is really what it feels like I have been prepared. I have been preparing and learning and feeling through discomfort, most of it my own, and how I chose to show up or felt like I could or couldn't show up. And yeah, I'm leaving that energy behind. I release this preparation energy, and I'm ready to step in, I'm stepping into this embodiment energy. I'm not learning who I am anymore. It's like I'm living as her now. And I had to go through those things. I had to have a beginner mindset and explore that. And, I think I've taken what I need to learn, and I'm ready to implement it. So this tendency to isolate, moving into leadership. We're moving into leadership now. This tendency to wait Well, now we're moving this into momentum and choice. We're making choices. We're not waiting. Playing small for emotional diffusion. Now we're stepping into strong, loving boundaries and grounded devotion to myself and to others that are in alignment, and trusting that I can recognize that. And we're replacing potential with practice. We're putting what we know into practice now. We are showing up every day doing this, and there's something that's becoming clearer in this process. And the question I start asking myself now is, based off of these things that I've reflected on and processed over the past year, is, am I acting from readiness or am I acting from habit? Does this habit really serve me? And how can I continue to step into alignment and listen for that empowered yes, feel into that whole-bodied yes, and move forward because I'm ready. Even if I feel maybe that I'm not ready, I'm ready. That I'm letting go of this belief that I need to be more prepared, that I need to be more healed, that I need to be more certain. I think it's just time to be seen. And that's what I'm thinking. It's a year of expansion, and I feel it for me. I have a lot of goals. I want to grow this practice in a lot of ways. I want to be seen by more wonderful people in hopes that my own reflections or these messages, they resonate with you and they serve you, and so that you know that I'm here for you, that there's support, that there's space for you. Come back home to yourself, to learn, to experience that journey home. And but this is not like easy stuff. Like all this reflection has come through a knowing and a need for me to step back and to slow down. It came from these moments of being in hermit mode, but with the intention of becoming clear on these things that are keeping me tired, that are keeping me in these patterns that I'm outgrowing. And in my own journey, over the past, especially last week over the holidays, I spent a lot of time connecting with my womb space. I did a yoni steam. I did lots of journaling. I've actually started drawing every day. I have like a big sketch pad and markers that I bought at Five Below, and I've just been challenging myself to draw or free write and creative journaling every day, and connecting back to that creative energy, connecting back to my womb space in a way that I can feel into things and see things clearly and allow myself to feel empowered, to remember that feeling. This process of creative journaling has kind of helped me tap back into it and to get more clear and be like, no, okay, no, yeah, I know what I'm doing. No, yeah, that's cool. I see it now. Sometimes we just lose sight. Sometimes we need to move the energy, and sometimes we just need to connect and give ourselves permission to let this stuff go, to release it, to give it to 2025 and let it be a lesson that we've learned, because now we're moving forward. We're moving into a more embodied creative energy that comes from connection and feeling stillness and feeling good in ourselves, our minds, our bodies, our wombs. And that's the journey I'm on. That's a journey that a lot of us are on here at Becoming Home Healing Co. If you are new and you don't know, I have started the Winter Womb Reset. The Winter Womb Reset private sessions. This has been so powerful. Powerful sessions with clients, with women who are taking this time of winter to reflect, to connect with themselves and their womb spaces intentionally, and to release these, to become conscious of these patterns that maybe we've indulged in over the past year and are ready to release and step into 2026, step into this new energetic year feeling empowered and ready to go, because that's what the collective energy would suggest. We have things to do. We have power to yield. Let's go, ladies. And so this private package is designed to help you connect with your womb space and to participate in some loving rituals and reflection so that you can become conscious, to release with compassion, and to prepare yourself and to start embodying who you are becoming, consciously becoming. So if that sounds interesting, you can learn more about those private sessions on my website, which I will link below. And if you are looking for something a little bit more self-guided, a little bit more exploratory, I do have the Winter Womb Reset workbook that is available to download for free on my website. Girl, you know I'm a homebody too. Girl, sometimes we need that inner exploration before we reach out and we connect and we do this work. You don't have to do this work alone, but if that would serve you, if you want to feel prepared for that kind of work and you want to explore it for yourself, that workbook is filled with rituals, journal prompts, some guided imagery journeys as well. And it's there for you, as well as some guided meditations on my website that you can download for your self-exploration. Whatever you choose, I trust that you are making the choice that's right for you. And I am so glad that you watched this all the way through. Thank you for coming to my reflection. I'm in this reflective mode and excited. I'm excited for this becoming. Excited. It is a daily devotion, I tell you what. All right, well, thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time. Until then, be well. Goodbye.